Okay, good morning, NCM 113A. This is a continuation of your lecture yesterday. This is the phases of COPAR. We have finished the pre-entry phase. We have started your discussions on your entry phase, and now we are in the part 2 of the entry phase, which is the organizational building phase. Okay, so before I go to the slide, I want to go to the course outline. Today we are tackling the organizational building phase, which will include the description, the critical activities, formalization of your genuine people organization, your GPO, the elements of your GPO, levels of growth of an organization, the sub-activities of the GPO, so your community making, formalization of vision and mission, formalization of organizational structure, policies, and consultation, bylaws, ratification of laws, and registration of your genuine people's organization. Okay, so for today, we're going to discuss from 1 up to letter C. And then part 3 will be training of different members up to ARAS 2. We have already discussed ARAS 1. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. Okay, phases of COPAR. Second phase is the entry phase. Okay, and part 2 of the entry phase is the organizational building. The organizational building phase. What is this? This is the formation of formal structures, procedures, planning, implementing, and evaluating community-wide activities are done. Okay, so this is what are done in the organizational building phase. Remember, we are already in the entry phase. Okay, and we are actually in the communities already, and we are implementing already plans. Okay, organizational leaders, groups, committees are given formal and informal trainings. Okay, by the healthcare workers. Why do we give formal and informal trainings? To develop their skills, attitude, knowledge. Okay, and these are the things that they need in managing their assigned programs. So because in the organizational building phase, we have already finished the come-on projects. Okay, so we have shown already the communities, the community leaders, the community members that we are worth something. Okay, and that we are proving something, that we can implement activities already in the community, and we are effective. Okay, with the come-on or what do you call this, initial activities. Okay, and the initial activities must be really be very felt by the community. Okay, so after the common activities, we should start planning in more elaborate, for elaborate projects for the community. Okay, and initial phase, let us train, to make the project more successful. Okay, let us train the leaders that we have identified, like what we discussed yesterday. Identify leaders, identify members with strong opinions, members with potential, that we can maximize in the projects that we will be implementing. Okay, so we want their skills, attitudes, and knowledge, that they need in managing the programs that they will be assigned to in the future. The organizational building phase is the most crucial part of the COPAR process. Okay, so why? Because the COPAR is building and strengthening human behavior. Okay, so since in the organizational and building phase, we are already moving people, we are already planning and implementing bigger activities for the community. So this is already a crucial part of the COPAR. Okay, it is also in the organizational building phase that struggles and challenges as a community health nurse organizer occurs. Okay, because this is where because it is a more difficult part already. We are going to plan and implement and organize bigger projects. Okay, unlike the go-on projects, they are, what they call this, very direct, very straight to the point projects. Okay, that's why they were successful, because they were straight to the point, they were easy to implement. But now we are already in the organizational building phase, where elaborate projects are being planned already. So as we go through harder plans, more elaborate plans, more people, will be assigned different tasks. Okay, so this is where more struggles and more challenges will be encountered, okay, in this organizational phase. Critical activities in this organizational phase. Number one, formalize people's organization. Okay, we are going to formalize people's organization. So we are going to start building structure communities with vision, mission, and goals through community consultation. And we are going to identify tasks and functions of these groups or people's groups that we are going to form. Okay. A technical term that they call the organizations that we form in the community is called your genuine people's organization, genuine people's organization, your GPO. This is a group of individuals from the community who decided to unite their efforts in addressing a common community problem or common community problems and concerns. So each community, you have people, okay, who would like to group themselves together and they would like to help, okay, identify and solve problems. Okay, it is usually problems that personally affects them, affects their families. And since it is a common concern or problem, there are a lot of people who would like to group together, okay, and realize that we either can do this with or without the barangay officials, but either way, our goal is to solve this specific problem. Okay, so habang nandyan yung support ng barangay, habang nandyan yung support ng mga student nurses, okay, so I think malaki yung chances that we will succeed sa sabihin ng GPO. Okay, so they like to form groups or participate, okay, in order to solve the community problems and concerns. Okay, so the first step is formalize genuine people's organizations. Okay, what are the elements of a genuine people's organization? Okay, so elements start with the vision. What is the dream and end result of a standard quality of life? What are they aiming for? Okay. Also, they would like a mission. What is the mission, the principal task or assignment, okay, of the group? Also want a goal or aim or direction. What goals are we aiming for as a group? Okay. What goals would we like to achieve for the community? Okay. One element also of your GPO is your objectives. It clarifies in detail what one wants to carry out. Okay, so objective is a breakdown. Okay, specifically, what are the objectives that we would like to do one by one to achieve the goal, the mission, and the vision. Okay, and also the development plan. Okay, it is a written outline of the things that you would like to plan out and implement in the community. Okay, for your vision, it is a dream or end result of a standard quality of life, an abstract. Okay, it is usually broadly stated in a noun phrase. Examples like self-resilience, empowerment, health for all, the success of the community. Yan yung mga types of vision. Your mission, it is the principal task or assignment, the path chosen to reach the vision characteristics. Okay, it starts with to be able to, okay, be able to help the community members, to be able to serve. Okay, must follow from the vision statement. Okay, so your vision and your mission statement must be linked together. Accomplishment of the mission leads to the rationalization and realization of the vision. Okay, and it should be attainable. Your mission should be attainable. If your mission is not attainable, okay, you will just be frustrated once you are implementing activities. Tapos hindi mo naman ma-reach yung mission and vision mo. A goal. Okay, what is the difference of a goal compared to your mission and vision? Your goal is more general. It is broad aimed or direction aimed. The end toward which all efforts are directed at. Okay, so what is the goal? What is the target? Your objectives. Your objectives clarify in detail what one wants to carry out. Okay, so it is more specific. Okay, mas hinihimay nyo na in the objectives. Okay, multiple objectives. It specifies for whom the project is being done, by whom, okay, who is implementing the projects, within what period of time, what is your time frame, where and what group wants to accomplish. Okay. In short, this is the detailed clarification of one wants to accomplish. And those are your objectives. Okay. And also your development plan or the written outline. Okay. Goals, objectives, plan, your activities, your resources. Okay. That is your written outline of the goal. Monitoring scheme and evaluation is also in your development plan. Okay, the next is your structure. This refers to the skeletal arrangement of the composition of the people's organization. So yung mga from the head to the members under the head, okay, the committee members, okay, the structure, the composition of the people's organization, the different committees, not just individuals, but the groups, the people who man such committees. Okay, if there are multiple committees, who is heading the community, who are the members of that committee, and relationship and lines, responsibility and authority of its leaders and members. Okay, so that is your structure. Mechanism, strategies. Okay, of course, these are the methods, tactics. What are you going to implement, okay, in the different activities? You have your policies as well, set of principles of determining what and how things should be done, okay, by a person or a group. So your policies, what are the rules? Okay. Your personnel includes the leaders or managers and the members of the staff. So personnel is basically everyone involved in the GPO. Members also, like the personnel, constitutes of the members of actively participating members. So who are the members of each committee, which ideally should come from every household comprising of the community. Ideally, we want COPAR, community participation. So we want at least one household, okay, one member per household to be active in this GPO as personnel, as members, as leaders. Okay. Resources. Okay, so every project, every organization has resources. Okay, refers to the supply or support for the organization, okay, such as your land, okay, your labor, all human beings who extract the process of materials in the finished products, okay, the work, the labor to transport and sell goods and services or provide services. Okay, so either production of services, production of products, okay, making of products, or you sell services, okay, that is your labor. Capital, okay, these are materials, money, logistics, support services which the people use, okay, to extract the process of raw materials, your capital. Okay, so what do you need? What are the initial finances needed? What are the initial raw materials needed? Okay. Your entrepreneur or your manager is also a manager, is part of your resources. Okay. Resources can also mean your 6 M's. What are your 6 M's? The manpower. First M is the manpower. Who are the people involved in the different organizations and in different activities? Material is similar to your, I think material is more general compared to the broken down labor, land, and capital. Okay, so material is everything you need. Okay, money, of course, your capital. Minute will refer to the time, your time frame. Okay, methodology, your actions. Okay, what are you going to implement? And of course, machinery. Aside from manpower, what else are you going to use in order to implement the GPO programs? The participation is considered the most important element of the organization because without this, it is useless. Community participation na eh. We would not just like to render service. We want them to be able to serve their own people, be able to help themselves as well. Okay, so if it's just us giving constant spoon feeding for them, okay, so wala rin, because eventually if we end our community duties, if we start graduating already and leave the community, if they don't know how to take care of themselves, sayang lang. Okay, so participation is the most important element of the GPO, of this community project that we are trying to target. Your structure, policies, sorry, I forgot to skip the page. Okay, elements of a genuine people's organization. Okay, so structure, mechanism, strategies, policies, your resources, land, labor, capital, and your 6Ms, manpower, material, money, minute, methodology, and machinery. Okay, what are the activities under your GPO? Okay, so first is your community making, giving opportunities to the community members to develop the strength of the leaders, develop the strength of the members. Okay, share significant events in their lives. Of course, it is through their experiences in the community that will drive them. Okay, that will be their fuel because of the changes that they would like to achieve. They also want to increase their level of participation in community making and enhance team building capacities. Okay, so increase the participation individually, combine all the individuals into one group. Okay, so that is your team building capabilities. Okay, so still under formalizing your genuine people's organization. Okay, activities under forming GPO. Continuation, what else do? We formalize the vision. Okay, so we discussed already what is the vision earlier. We formalize the structure, the policies, and the bylaws. So if we formalize the structure of the organizations, who are the people leading this organization, who are under the leaders, what are the different committees, the policies and bylaws, ano yung mga patakaran, ano yung mga panuntunan, okay, what are the laws that they would like to follow, okay, because without laws, it's going to be confusing, okay, so without policies and bylaws, people can start implementing programs that will benefit themselves only, okay. So we have to stick to bylaws and policies that would really benefit the whole community. Registration of people's organization. You can register the organization that you have formulated in the barangay, municipal level, etc. Okay, so just to legalize that organization or GPO that you are formulating. And of course, if there is a group, in order for your group to have an output group to be able to have a meaningful program, okay, there must be community development plan. Okay, so the plan must be, what do you call this, formulated, okay, initially by the GPO, kahit draft lang, okay, as long as a community development plan is being formulated. Okay, it means that the goal really is to be able to organize, okay, and the betterment of the community. Okay, so the GPO, one of the initial programs that they will do is to formulate a community development plan. Okay. Yeah, activities. Sorry, this one. Formalize, formulate, and refine. Okay, a draft of the community development plan. Formalize genuine people's organization. Okay, next activity is committee planning. Okay, so the GPO has subcommittees, so they must be doing planning. The planning derived from the community development plan. Okay, so whatever community development plan was formulated, okay, so we have to further plan and break down the details, basically, of what we are going to implement. Objectives must be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay, so let's just go through the notes that I may have skipped. Okay, SMART objectives. We can also, committee planning can also include tasks for each committee member. Okay. You also have to determine the last one. Determine where to get the resources needed, okay, especially if the resources needed are not available in the community. For example, like for COVID, okay, the barangay would like to have COVID kits in their barangay. So para pag may isang nag-positive, isang family na nag-positive, multiple families na nag-positive, they at least have equipment that can help them serve and monitor individuals with COVID in the community, families especially. So ano yung mga pwede na lang kailangan sa mga COVID kit nila? For example, the medications. Okay, what else? Pulse oximeter, thermometer, yung mga yan. So kung wala sa community nila, they have to outsource. Kailangan nilang pupunta ng Baguio, kailangan pumunta ng SM, kailangan pumunta ng Portavaga para mamili. Okay, so they have to figure it out. Where are we going to get the resources na wala sa barangay natin? Okay, so determine where to get, how to get the needed resources, especially those that are not available in the community. As part also as formalizing your genuine people's organization, a collective implementation and mobilization. So there was a lot of discussion regarding planning. After planning, just as your ADPI, okay, implementation and mobilize. So implement is basically carrying out, okay, the plans into action. Mobilization is initiating the assigned people to move, to mobilize, assign then move. Okay, encourage the people to move. Actual implementing and putting the plan into action. Active involvement of as many members of the community as possible. So hindi lang yung mga student nurses ang gumagalaw sana. So as many members of the community as possible. And once we encounter problems, okay, you must be able to monitor. At least I think this was the last part of our 113 theory, monitoring. Okay, so encounter problems, it is through monitoring that you detect problems, adjust problems, solve problems, your problem solving. Okay, so formalizing your genuine people's organization. What is the structured learning activities? The summary. You must be able to, okay, community making and team building are the concepts. Critiquing will be part, okay, so being able to identify failures, flaws, okay, by the members itself, that is your critiquing. Or getting opinions from the community members itself. So ano mo mali dun sa ginagawa namin, okay? And taking those critics into or criticisms into positive, changing, improving the programs that we are implementing. Conduct an ideal sequence of planning meetings. Okay, so bawat committees, kailangan may schedule sila. Okay, so in terms of planning, whatever is planned also is endorsed to the subcommittees. The heads must also know what is planned. Okay. Conducting trainings. Why do we conduct trainings again? So that our leaders will further improve their skills, their knowledge. Okay. And of course, the implementation. Whatever we plan, ang gusto natin may implementation. And implementation will also include your monitoring. Okay. So that there will be adjustments in the implementation if necessary. Okay. So that is the last slide, I think, for your GPO. And we will continue part 3 of your entry phase tomorrow. Okay, so part 3 will include, okay, emphasis on training of different members, community dry runs, community meetings, consultation, mobilization, monitoring and evaluation. So we will further elaborate on that. And your ARAS 2. Okay, ARAS 1 yung pinagkwentuhan natin ng isang araw. Meron pa palang ARAS 2. Okay. So thank you. And again, good morning to everyone.